Selamlar tekrar. Sorry for the interruption.
No worry. No worries.
Because the Zoom time cuts, and you were talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. If I'm not make you bored, I can talk. But if you say okay, you will stop, I can stop.
No. Actually, I have some more questions, and if you want to instead, go jump into other topics, you can do that as well. But you were talking about the people that criticize hyper casual studios, I guess.
Yeah.
Am I right? By the way, before you start, I remember there's a popular indie developer that posts regularly on LinkedIn and Facebook as well, which says stuff like the amount of code is really limited. There are only 4 or 5 scripts, and for a hyper casual game, and also there's no need to hire lead developers, senior developers for that job. I find this a huge ignorance, but I want to hear your opinions about that as well. So maybe I was planning to talk about hyper casual business model. I was going to talk about the reasoning behind why it's popular, but maybe you can talk about that, since you have experience on that, and maybe you can answer some criticizations too.
Yeah. I didn't know the post that you mentioned, but you said 4 line of codes or 4
scripts, 4 or 5
scripts.
Publish.
Okay, actually a nice challenge. If whoever just told it, just I can get he or she as my guest, open up my own source code. If he or she can just make one of the games in 4 scripts, I can give him or he or she whatever wants. Okay, yeah, like I said, for a prototype, maybe yes, but if you want to make a full game, to start thinking about all the analytics, all the gameplay, all the variations, all the tests, all the advertisement, the monetization model, it's really hard, even for the gameplay. Like if you have a lot of levels, maybe just like different mechanics, different features. Yeah, you can also write everything in one line of one script to have everything inside one script. You can do that, but technically you don't want to do that. But I always think those kind of topics weird. I'm seeing similar stuffs, but what can I say? This is a business, and you cannot compare hyper casual with Last of Us. We are not a Naughty Dog studio. Maybe in some point in the future we can, but right now we are not. This is our business. This is a business model, actually, and it's a solid, and it got approved by a lot of people. There are $1 million companies that working around in the hyper casual business. Again, this is popular is because it's super easy to step inside, and it's like you always think about the core gameplay, which the biggest studios also does the same. Do the same. They always start with the gameplay first. The hyper casual is that. Like, you don't need to stick with a lot of gameplays. Not only for one gameplay, you can always try different gameplay mechanics for every different prototypes, and you can always start thinking about to gamify your mechanic from scratch. It's really easy. This is the actually this is the 101 game design lessons for everyone, and I think Turkey is right now. Our country is in a good spot because imagine that 5 years ago you cannot find a lot of game developer studios, or you cannot find a lecture for that. You cannot find a master program, junior program. Right now, everyone is like, there are lots of many options. For example, when I just went to university for the master degree for the bachelor, there were only one other option.
Which was
one option. Actually three. One option was Bahçeşehir, the other was Ankara, the other was Izmir. I think so, in Economy University.
And
correct me if I'm wrong.
Ankara is Hacettepe, I believe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but right now, and when I first started the master degree, there were no junior classes in Bahçeşehir, but right now they also have junior classes. It's good thing. Like, we have biggest mobile game companies, Gram Games, Peak Games, and we have also Tales World. I always think those kind of topics are funny. Like, people need to start from somewhere. And for example, the biggest AAA games, they don't do it in one day, in 1 year or something. They have a lot of expertise on those areas. The people that are working on those companies, they have backgrounds and for the gaming industry for a while. They right now maybe they have some juniors, some internships, but the managers, the head of the companies, and the lead developers, senior developers, or maybe the project managers, they had a lot of expertise on those areas. So people need to start from somewhere, and no need to humiliate the people that makes hyper casual game. This is game. This is something. One is always bigger than zero. Instead of just like complaining too much, people need to start from somewhere. This is what I saw. And the hyper casual business is a trend because it's super easy to step in, as I told. And again, and also super easy to monetize the games because you don't need to tackle with a lot of data science of it for the in-app purchasing business model. Okay, you can do that. There are lots of publishers who are willing to cover your development costs easily because it's trend. It's advertisement business. It's like a TV. It's like a shooting a TV series because the first business model that you do is for advertisement. But that's it. Like, it's funny. I don't know why people want to create those kind of topics.
Yeah, maybe for getting recognized or being popular, or creating polemics as
in our country, hate always works. So if you create hate, you will get that knowledge. You will get that attraction.
Yeah,
really easily.
From a designer's standpoint, I actually believe that hyper casual games are the most basic form of game, even if it can be considered a game, because I've seen people where they that categorize hyper casual games as toys instead of games. So it's the most basic form, but it's also a good business model for starters, and I believe it's a great thing that's happened for our country because we were really behind on this sector years ago. I mean, 5 to 10 years ago, and we now can, present a good business plan to investors or publishers, and they can now see what we can accomplish, and we can also work on a game at least, and we can develop our skills to work on the more complex genres if we later decide to. I believe this is one of the best things that's happened in game industry for our country. And the business model is like you said, solid, but with a lot of competition, I believe there comes a point where the market is not right, but saturated, I should say. And what, like, where do you think we are currently? Is the hyper casual markets increasing in value? Is it a good place to start a hyper casual company right now? Or I've heard stuff like currently publishers prefer more casual or mid-core games to support. So what is the trend shift that you are seeing?
Yeah, I see like hyper casual has the similarity to the fashion. It's really changed day by day. And every day, someone just brings a new aspect, a new look to the hyper casual genre. For example, when we first started, there were only balls, white balls that jumping, going somewhere else from A to B. Right now, you can go pretty much download all the hyper casual games, and there are animations, there are characters, there are upgrade systems, there are stores that you customize your avatar. There are handmade levels, great puzzles, nice visuals. So it's changing. It's like a fashion, and I don't think that at some point hyper casual will die. But you can pretty much hyper casualize everything and every genre. I think hyper casual is not like a genre. It's a ideology that you can apply it for other genres. So, like, sometimes IO games become trends, that multiplayer games, fake multiplayer games become trends. Sometimes simulation games become trends. Sometimes idle games become trends, and people always, those hyper casual studios always tries to apply those information that they gather from other games inside their studios. And the people who plays hyper casual games also evolves. Right now they are eager. They want to see something new. They want to see something different instead of seeing a white ball that jumps from A to B. But it was there. Like when we first started, Helix Jump was just released at that point. Maybe I don't know if the rest of us know Helix Jump, but it's something like a huge impact to the hyper casual genre. Everyone started saying that, okay, what are we going to do next? Because this is the highest month. This is the peak of the month. But and a new hyper casual game is coming day by day. And as I told you, it's like a fashion, and it's changing, it's evolving. I don't feel like it will end at some point, but I mostly feel like it will be more closer to the casual side, casual ones, the next step, and it will evolve. It will evolve more. Yeah, I think this is my this is my thoughts on it, and it's really easy to get in, and it's really attractive for the investors and also the publishers. It's really, but again, you can start with working with publishers. You can start testing. You can start understanding the ideology in it and how people react. What are the small details that you need to pay attention on? Then you can start looking for investment to your company, to your business. And Turkey, for us, it's great. It's great to have a lot of it's great to see a lot of people just trying to make games, develop games, even they don't publish it. It's great. Some point, maybe one day, we will also have a lot of AAA studios in Turkey that develop. And I believe these people that works for hyper casual today, they will make the change in the future instead of AAA games, instead of a player just complains always. So
Yeah.
So I think so.
And you were talking about the amount of money that you have earned by the end of your 6 months hard work, and it was around $1,000, I believe, and it was going to
Yeah.
be split between 4 people. But um, the the advantage still lies there. Currently,
Yeah.
the I mean, you couldn't you would be really sad if you lived in USA
Yeah.
while you are developing your game, because your expenses would be much higher. But since you are earning with a foreign currency, I mean, the Turkish developers have an advantage for these
Yeah.
types of risks, I believe.
Yeah. 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 You're right. For example, today the hyper casual publishers, I'm I'm not working with them right now, but because we are publishing our own games. But I'm hearing that they are paying a great amount of money per prototype or maybe per month to to the developers that they are working. Because think that imagine you are getting paid 5K per month to develop X amount of hyper casual prototype. Uh, think that a French company, it's 5K is not it's nothing for them. Like if they want to hire 2 senior developer, they need to pay a lot more than 5K. So they are really willing to pay 5K to a Turkish company, or it's not for Turkey. They are also doing the same to the for Indian developers, to the Romanian, the Bulgarian, the Ukrainian developers, because the life is cheap on these countries. Especially Turkey is a great opportunity for them.
So they're
So
giving 5K dollars or liras. I believe dollars, but I might.
dollars.
Yeah. Okay. So
Did I tell lira? No.
no, no. I
Ah.
heard.
But it really depends on.
Yeah, yeah.
It really depends on. I just the numbers is not relevant. I just throw it on my mind right now. Maybe it's 2 or 5, maybe sometimes 7. But again, it's those money. It's really it's great for poor people right now in the Turkey. If you want to start a business right now immediately, even for like, I know that Voodoo is working with studios or developers that only for 2 people, and they are doing great. They can develop a game which got downloaded 100 million, which is super impressive for 2 people, and the amount that they will earn is it's a great it's great for Turkey.
Yeah, I 2 years ago I remember hearing about a deal for that was offered to a developer that was around $10,000. So what you are saying is not much, actually impossible much. I mean, it doesn't look impossible, but of course the competition is rising, and you need to have good numbers, and you are, I mean,
Yeah.
all the developers are actually competing for the players' time, empty time,
Yeah.
hobby time, and because of that, and because of the fact that new developers are joining each day,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you need to really be different if you want to actually get a deal from a publisher, or even publish your own and try out your game. And actually, the uh, theory behind game design, well, one theory, not the actual one, was something like uh, MDA, taxonomy. So M stands for mechanics, which are the essential rule base and rule sets, and D stands for dynamics, which uh, actually is uh, create created after you release your game. I mean, for instance, a mechanic can be uh, a way of communication inside your game, and dynamics are the ways that your players take advantage of this medium of communication that you have given.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, for Among Us, I remember the funny example. The remaining player asks for the asks dead players to leave the game if the red player is the imposter, and since the dead players leave the game, then the remaining players uh, understand that the red was the imposter, and they vote against them. So basically, this is a dynamic that wasn't planned or
Yeah.
designed by the
Expect plan.
designer, but this is a dynamic that is in the game, and the aesthetics part is a bit harder to describe, but it's basically the you know endpoints where uh, all the mechanics and dynamics go together and create a beautiful experience. This beauty part is in the aesthetics part, and we as developers or designers generally uh, go from mechanics to then we consider dynamics and finally aesthetics. But
Hani ben sevmiyorum şahsen ama.
sorry,
Aslında erişim de tutmuyoruz.
I was gone. Okay, I hope the meeting wasn't broke for you.
No, we were no.
Okay.
It was okay for us.
I was talking about our approach going from M to A, and players go from A to M. So they first see the aesthetics, then they either love or hate the game, and then they delve deeper into the mechanics. And hyper casual is special in the case that I believe mechanics play a huge role uh, for players to either love or hate the game, right? But I'm not sure. Maybe your aesthetics can play a bigger impact. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be. I didn't think it that way, but it can be. While you're out, actually, I think Ishik, right? Ishik asked a question. I think it's in English. It's in Turkish. I don't know how to say, but he said something like, "Why we show a lot of respect to mobile market? Was it that Ishik?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we do not do it. The people around the market does it. Again, it's really a matter of the money right now. It's everyone says that there is an easy money in there, but it's not that easy. Again, it's really depends on the marketability of your product. Let's say not game if you don't want, but you can always think as a product. But it's easy to start. It's easy to generate money, and everyone right now thinks that I will go develop some hyper casual games or mobile games, and then make $1 million. Then I shift my company to the other products for bigger games, sort of things. And I feel like in every traditional business also does the same. You know, we are Turkish. Like, for example, imagine that one people goes from his village to the Istanbul and establish a textile factory. The next year he goes to his own village and he just sits on the cafe, the kahve, and starts prouding of his job. And the next year, everyone on that village goes to the Istanbul and opens a textile factory. I feel like this is the culture of the Turkish people. So here's a business. If someone will make a huge success on any of the other AAA games or maybe indie games, if the rest will follow it. I think this is the reason. If this is the answer that your question.
So no one wants to be the first, but everyone wants to be the second.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's really easy. Proven is always better than newer. People always afraid of trying new stuffs. But again, you can always start with a small budget for your company for mobile games. But for bigger ones, for like casual, to be, if you want to be a company like Peak Games or Gram Games, you will need a lot of investment to your company. And I don't think that Turkish people are not that brave to invest in the gaming right now, but in the future they will invest. Yeah, I think it's really a matter of the money, and why people really show great respect to the hyper casual is that because it's really easy there, and they see and they saw a lot of revenue, and they are reading a lot of news from the newspaper that says, hey, it's a great exit for a Turkish mobile gaming company, and it's consecutively made 3 of them. Zynga bought 3 of them. It's a great history, and everyone wants to follow those history too. But I believe that sometimes in the future, if Ubisoft or Sony will buy a Turkish company in the Turkey, they will of course switch their visions to that, because we are Turkish. This is our culture.
And what was the story behind your company? So after how many developed hyper casual games, were you able to jump to a more complex type of game? And after around how many of those games were failure, and how many of them were successes?
Of course, we have that kind of future plans that is shifting to maybe casual one, maybe a console gaming in the future. But I think it's not for us. It is not something really depend on the game that we are going to do. It still depends on the team that we have right now. if some point in the future we think that the team has got enough experience to shift the company vision, then I think we will at least we will try to shift it. But yeah, it's really a matter of the experience. I mean, and don't think that like in Turkey we are really in the beginning of everything right now, and it's kind of new. Even if it's like a 3 years or 4 years, if you compare with the old traditional businesses, 2 years is 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years is it's the beginning. At point, we also want, as a Suji Games, we also want to focus on the other genres, other mediums, maybe PC, Steam, console gaming, maybe developing a game for Nintendo Switch. But right now, we want to stick with the things that we are doing, because this is what we have the knowledge. And if we think that we are okay and we can transfer this knowledge to any other businesses, I'm pretty sure that we will do. But right now, we need to solidify the thing that we are doing.
Yeah, exactly. In Minet, we are using a similar strategy. We are using the already available board game knowledge to a card game, which will be and all already available multiplayer knowledge as well. We will be using new technologies too, but we believe that we can overcome that technology barrier, and we can, since we have some expertise in other fields, we can manage to learn at a good speed, and how many yeah, like you said that you started with 4 people in your team, and currently how much players developers or work employers are in your team?
Team members, we have 16 right now, and again, as we started, we were 4, and actually from the beginning of this year we were 4 people, and from the February we start growing, and right now we are 16 people. Not all of us are developers. We have developers, designers, 3D and 2D artists, and even so marketing and monetization specialists and marketing art side, because publishing is another stuff. There are companies that only focus on the publishing side. So, and and right now what we are doing is we are developing plus publishing. So we really growed 4 times for 6 months so far. And I think we also need to grow a little bit more, because still developing new games, we also need to give maintenance to our oldest games. So it is getting complicated day by day, but I think at some point we will be figured out what to do.
Okay, thank you. And I asked too much. Are there any other questions by other students? So please ask them.
Hi, I have some questions, but I'm not sure about my internet connection.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, it's really unstable. Actually, I want to ask multiple things. At first, you started to publish your games on your own. How did you advertise those games and make up to the charts?
Okay. Should I start from here or should I wait for the other ones? Because you said multiple questions. Maybe I can combine some of them, but because this is a huge topic, you know, if we start talking about it right now, we need some 5 more Zoom meetings. Yeah, it's because we had those experts while we were working with other publishers. We knew that what they really what we need as a publisher to publish our games, how to get prepared, and what are the stuff they really pay attention. So we started working on it. Then we were 4 people. Before that, I was the developer, by the way, on the team. I was the guy who develops the game, who just writes most of the codes. But the four of us also code the game. But I was more likely to the people behind creating the structure of the code base or something. And then when we start working, I'm also the guy who has that how can I say who has that wish to publish their own games. So I was the guy start investigating, start working with other networks, testing a lot, testing all the strategies that I know from the others publishers that we work with, and also start testing by own if it also fits our own games or not. And actually, it's really a matter of the creative that you did and the game that you make. At the end of the day, if your LTV, if your lifetime value is more than your cost per user, you are good to go. You can scale your game as soon as possible. You can scale your game as much as possible, while you can you can keep this balance. There are lots of channels that you can work with for marketing of your game, and again, today's topic was on monetization, but monetization and marketing for small studios, for self-publishers like us, it's a thing that you cannot take it apart. You have to think as a whole stuffs, the marketing and the monetization. Why they call it growth, I don't know. Okay. With this ideology, I was the guy who was just like responsible for those kind of stuffs. You need to start talking about a lot of networks. You also need to have some sort of business intelligence of your side. Like developing game is great. Being a developer and an artist is also great, but you also need someone that says that, hey, I'm doing game. I'm making game. Once I read on a book. I didn't recall the name of the book, but it says that if you don't say what you're doing, no one knows that what you're doing. You have to know. You have to find a way to tell the people that, hey, I'm here. Other than that, you are developing game. So that's the reason why game development is not only rely on the development side. It has